person will have of them, or where it will escalate to concerning their competence. But you see, having a relationship with those people, a friendship, can help you work better in the sense that when they are stuck somewhere and trying to make a decision that is quite difficult, they could give a call to someone and say, I'm in hell right now, can you help me solve this problem? The same thing will apply with my girlfriend. Assuming my girlfriend was making a HR decision, which I have no idea. Mm-hmm. And she works in a company that I have never worked for. So, and in case she wants to make a HR decision, would she come and meet me and say, what shall I do? She can ask me for a generalistic point, like something that has to be like moral standing, helping her resolve her emotions about the whole situation going on at work. But if she's going to execute something according to a company's policy, which she need, and she doesn't understand the policy clearly, is it not easy for her to call a friend that probably is superior or someone that has better knowledge and who she has a good relationship with at work? You get it, right? Mm-hmm. To be able to help her solve that problem. So if I'm stopping her from having a male friend, then there are these things that people don't see that happen at work. It happens every day. It happens no matter which field you are in. It will happen. How does this person survive in solving their problem at work and having meaningful relationship with people that they can actually rush to at work within the confine of their workplaces to solve their problem? And I know that some people ask me, can't they just ask people without having a prior relationship? Yeah, so I'm just going to intercept that by saying, let's not be acting as if we don't understand how generally workplaces are. You just have to have your clique and have the people you trust to help you solve your problem, or else you make any problem bigger. You get it, right? So if my girlfriend definitely have work friends, and some are girls, some are men too, and I have no problem with that. In fact, I know little or nothing about some of them. You get it? Mm-hmm. Because I know very well she needed it. And I know very well I keep friendship, and I know to which extent I respect the boundary of the professional relationship and friendship I keep at work. Mm-hmm. And I don't think relationships always end with romance and marriage and the biblical hierarchy of where a man belongs and where a woman belongs. I don't go out with my female friends and necessarily ask them to pay, but it doesn't mean that there are times that they will turn up to support me in a way that I don't expect. That's it.
But I definitely agree with you on that. I'm not saying you can't have, let me say, I wouldn't say friendship, right? But what's the term I would like to use? Associates, right? Because we talk about two different subjects. We talk about friendship and platonic relationship, right? Mm-hmm. What you're talking about is more going into, getting advice and stuff like that. I call that consulting, right? You can always have someone you can consult in or look for guidance. That's okay, because there's always somebody better than you and more experienced. So for a woman to seek out that experience to get advice, that's okay. We're talking about as in friendship and relationship aspect of marriage. Those are two different subjects, because I have females that call me for spiritual guidance, for advice and stuff like that. But I don't consider them my friend to allow them to come into my relationship and sit around and all that friendly stuff. Because even biblically speaking, the Bible tells us to prove a friend, right?
Yeah.
In order to be a friend, you have to show yourself friendly. So I have friends, male friends, and when we go out, we bouncing off of each other for it. Hey man, we're gonna go out together. We're gonna do this. He paying, I'm paying. We alternate like that. It's not a give. It's a give and take relationship spiritually. When it comes to a woman, like you said, you go out, you don't expect a woman to pay. That's understandable because most men don't. But from a friendship aspect, if we're going to call it platonic, then if I can go out with my male friend and we can vibe off each other and he cover me, I cover him, why can't it be the same with my female friend? It's never equal when it comes to relationship. It's always the man giving himself, never the woman giving herself. You see what I'm saying? So coming to me for advice is cool. I'm not disagreeing for that. But when I was speaking as in relationship and friendship, as in marriage, when it comes to marriage. Because my wife, when you get married, your wife comes before anybody. Friends, mom, dad, all of that.
Yeah.
Biblical. I know some women put their father and mother above their husband, but that biblically, that's not so. Even when it comes to friends, your great grandma, nah. You're always supposed to choose your wife because your wife's supposed to be a part of you. So if she sees something going on with become jealous because of your friendship, hey, you gotta, hey, babe, look, you know what? You don't like that, I'm gonna cut it off. And your friend, supposed to be your friend, should be able to respect that. And if she get high rate, because she had evil intentions. Because if my homeboy come to me and say his girl don't want me around, all right, cool, bro. It's all good because I have no agenda. But when it comes to a woman, she wants to cling on to you for a reason. She don't want to respect y'all relationship, respect y'all marriage. Say, hey, let me step back.
I wouldn't agree with that.
I wanted to say something too.
Yeah, I understand.
So she sees something just like me. If I see a man who's friends with my wife, and I see something, I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna call it a hey, I don't like the way he moving a little too suspect to me. What's going on? I met him at work.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Now, if y'all been friends since babies or something like that, y'all grew up together, then I can understand that bond. Because that's more on a spiritual level. Because y'all knew each other from birth or knew each other from childhood.
Exactly.
You can't come until you met him a week ago and you call him your friend.
Yeah, I wanted to say
you
something.
You met him 2 days ago, you call him your friend. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, Steph, I wanted to ask a question. The question.
Actually, that's how I found out my ex-wife was cheating on me. One of her friends, because we all had our buddy relationships with friends and whatnot, right? And one time we was at a party, right? And she was drunk. And you would think, and I was just sitting down, basically just watching her, because I know she was drunk. She was gone. So I'm basically just keeping an eye on her. You know, I didn't want to drive her. You know, because I didn't want to go with that, to be honest with you. But, yo, you know how someone is tell you someone's story that it raises red flags? So I asked her several other questions after something raised some red flags.
Hold on. We can't hear you, Blaze.
All right.
Yeah, better now.
Yeah.
All right. What happened was, I came to find out that my girl was cheating on me since day one. Yeah, and we was married for about 8 years. Her friend told me the whole tea. Mind you, she was drunk when she told me, but you know, she told me everything. Yo, and the messed up part was, I was getting warnings from other people that she was doing it, but I'm just thinking, but My wife is telling me that all the other people jealous and others that you're giving me stories. So I just like, okay. But I'm like, wait, it's coming from your best friends? One of your best friends? You can't deny that. And when I went and told her about it, you know how deer caught in a headlight? That's how she was.
Okay. So like a girl. Okay, I understand what you're saying. See what Step is saying is it happens in real life. It happens. This thing that Step and Fulcrum, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you know when Step was making a reference to like not having a female around simply because it's being safe, because some female want to take the position of your wife. That is 100% it happens. Yeah, but what I wanted to ask you was, these work colleagues that you're comfortable with your girlfriend hanging around and being friends with, are they like, they are, sometimes we just call people friends when they're not really friends. Not sometimes we misuse this word friends. Are they just colleagues that she can talk to when she's not at work, or they are friends that come home on Thanksgiving, Christmas, attend their parties, hang out, plan? I don't know, like, are they like real friends or just work colleagues? Do you understand the question, Fulcrum? So let me understand.
Yeah, I understand the question. I feel like friends, if once you guys hang out once in a while, especially in a group, and probably because you work in the same place and you go out and you talk about things a lot and you keep in contact, I feel like you guys are friends. And I don't want to restrict friendship to like workplace. Like, you have that your girl's best friend that they have been friends since 2000. let's say, or I'm just trying to say from the beginning, from Genesis, from birth, or they went to the same primary school and they play sport together. They shared lunch in the secondary school and they know each other. They know the time that your girlfriend was the class clown and when she was bullied and when she washed up and became beautiful. They know all these stories.
Yeah.
You will see those kind of relationships once in a while. You see girls and guys have those kind of relationships that been there for ages. It's not only just boys and guys. I have friends that are known since secondary school. I have male friends and I have female friends that we have been friends since secondary school. We still chat. Even if we are not in the same city or in the same place, we will still chat. Like, we will still talk consistently. And if I have a partner who has this guy that they've known since, even if it's since university days, where most adult relationships form were in school or something, and they have been friends, and the tenet of the friendship is clear. The guy has not asked her out, and she has not asked the guy out, right? And there is nothing sensual or romantic about the relationship. It's platonic, it's plain level, they help each other in one way or the other, they hang out. Why would I want to disrupt that kind of a relationship? Except there was obvious reason that, okay, I see something wrong, right? I'm not trying to say if I find out that my girl is sleeping with one guy, and then she said, we're friends, I'm just going to say, because you say you guys are friends, that kills it. No. The idea here is that it is very possible for a man and a woman to have a relationship that is mutually beneficial and has nothing to do with romance or any ulterior motive to be in a relationship in the future or snatch you from the man or snatch you from the woman or whichever situation that may be. Yeah. I strongly believe, and I've maintained a lot of relationships which I feel like there's no reason why to let go because they are very helpful, the relationships are meaningful, and if you come to see it, once This is some random statistics. I don't know the source. I think it's more speculative. But there was something going around like once you've known someone for 7 years or 6 years, there is a level of trust that is built between you two, right? Yeah, but most of the time, if you are not going to agree with your, if your girl cannot have a relationship, what I'm pointing out is that that doesn't stop your girl from cheating. Your girl can cheat with anybody.
True. Like that part.
Also,
that part,
I want to point out that the fact that your girl is hanging out with her friends who are also girls doesn't make you safe. I think most of the time we forget that sexuality is not always restricted to heterosexuals. Yeah,
Okay.
Sincerely, I've been in a relationship before, and when I saw the girl, I just told her straight, "Have you tried being gay?" And she was like, "Why are you saying that?" And I'm like, "Try it, you may like it."
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And sincerely, it was spot on. The first time I met her, I knew she was gay, even though she doesn't, I don't know if she knew or she was struggling with it.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out she's gay.
Yeah.
If you were in a relationship with her, she's got a lot of friends, right?
Female friends.
And you don't know which one she's going to kiss at the end of the day. So if you're going to cut your your partner from a man, you are going to cut her off from girls too. Because forget about it, men sleep around with other men a lot these days.
Yes.
Forget about many people are not going to come out and just say I'm gay. A lot of people like the fundamental principle of the fundamental home, having a wife and a kid, and they struggle through it. Mm-hmm. It happens a lot. And they may be in a serious relationship. Even men, there are men who are in serious relationship with their best parties, like they are really, really gay couple, and they are in a opposite sex relationship the other way. So you cannot. I feel like pulling someone out of a relationship doesn't save you from being cheated on in any way. There's no way to get saved from this. The idea is to be transparent and make everybody comfortable. If your wife is going to cheat, she can cheat with an Uber driver who just pick her up. I bet you.
So, that the last part that you said is something that did not even occur to me at all, but it's 100% true. You know, saying that opposite sex friendship. Oh, I don't want my partner to be with the opposite, to have friends that are not, same sex we have. When at the end of the day, people can actually do things with swinging both ways. So I will not even consider that part. Nige, where is Nige? Did he leave? Okay, Nige, how far?
Yep. I want to speak on that subject. That is true. That could possibly happen, but it's more or less likely for a woman to be more heterosexual, right?
Yeah.
So I understand it does happen, but that goes with vetting women as a man, because we are the leaders, right? We can't blame a woman for being who she truly are. Mm-hmm. If you choose a woman who doesn't have morals and character and doesn't have the foundation of Christ, because the scriptures say, he that builds his house upon this rock shall stand. So as a man, when you introduce yourself to a woman and you out on that date, you have to set the ground rules. This is what I expect, this is how I'm going to move. And you let that be known, and she can agree to it, or she can, say, I don't agree to it, Mm-hmm. But you have to set that foundation, and you have to properly vet the woman. Most guys and most women are not vetting each other. Mm-hmm. We're just going out for experiences. Oh, he looked good, she looked good, we gonna call it a relationship. Just like you were saying that earlier, you can meet someone at your work and go out on a dinner, and you you can call that your friend and y'all keep in contact. I still call that associate. You know, and in order for me to consider someone my friend, they have to prove themselves worthy of being called my friend. You just can't come in my life a couple of days later and I'm considering you my friend. Because even Jesus Christ, he walked the earth with multitude of people following him, right? But guess what? He went back and slept with only the 12 guys or the 12 disciples that he truly trusted. And the one that betrayed him was the one who left him every night. So they truly had Christ back when he was walking with them, right?
Yeah.
So a person I consider, I want to truly have 5 good friends. Literally. I know I can call them at the drop of the dime, whenever I need, they come. You know, but they proven themselves to be such. When we have argument, falling out, we able to, you know, calm down, talk about it, and work through it. And they show themselves to be a true friend because they have that dignity, that respect, and that honor between friendship, right? But for dealing with a woman, she's not gonna do that.
Okay.
Because she's gonna look at, oh, it's not worth it. Friends are a dime of a dozen nowadays. True friendship, quality of the woman is what you're supposed to be looking for. You don't supposed to be looking at a woman as a girlfriend. That goes with dating with intention. If I don't see you as my wife, why am I gonna sit there and vet you and take you out and, you know, do all that the girlfriend and boyfriend type stuff, going on dates and stuff like that, when I'm investing my hard-earned money into this relationship, and eventually what, we're gonna walk away. And with most relationships, what do women say? Oh, we can be friends. We can still be friends because you're a good person. And then they go on to the next relationship, still calling you, hey, what you think about this? I'm with this. What you mean? Now she in another relationship telling this guy, y'all just friends. But y'all just got out of a relationship.
Okay. Yeah.
It's vetting. Quality over quantity. A woman has to prove herself to be loyal to you. Just like you have to prove yourself to be a good husband, she has to prove herself to be a good wife. The Bible don't say he that finds a wife, finds a girlfriend, finds a good thing. It say he that finds a wife. So we supposed to be out here moving with intention to prove a woman.
Basically, step
or
up.
A lifetime.
Hold on.
I understand what you mean, Brad, but sometimes, you know, you have to understand. So females tell you they're just a friend, just so they don't, that's to cut the drama off. You understand? Because they already know sometimes that a man would completely disagree with them if you tell them that that's my ex-boyfriend. You know? They know they gonna tell. They know you gonna tell them. They know you gonna tell them to cut them off. They know that off rip. They already know that off rip. So that's the reason why they go around that thing.
That's right. So why fall for the okie doke? Why set that standard from the beginning and say, hey, look, I don't have female friends, you ain't gonna have male friends. That's how we gonna cut that out.
Okay. Step, I have a question for
And she
you.
gonna comply, or she gonna, move on to the next guy who would accept that.
Step, I have a question.
True, you're right. You're right. You gotta be honest from the jump, So therefore, it's a transparency thing.
That's that hidden agenda.
Yeah, it's a transparency.
She holding on to him, so she like, oh, he was good for right now, but I want something better. And then she come to you because she see you that better option. And she gonna test the water, and she gonna talk to you, this and that. Oh, that's just my friend. He over there and still in love. She calling him friend. A woman can move on just like that. So we gotta be understanding that.
Steph,
women are moving more crafty.
Yeah, Steph, sorry to cut you short.
Warns the man about the woman.
Steph, can you hear me? Sorry to cut you short. I want to ask you a question before I forget it. This is a little bit off topic but I've heard you say several times, and I want to, out of curiosity, to ask. You've said severally that you don't date, you marry. You don't. The Bible says whoever finds a wife finds a wife and not a girlfriend. So basically, is a wife or nothing. So I'm asking, how do you convert a person you just met to your wife? Like what's the process? How does it work for you? Because you're saying you don't date.
Well, I don't date as in what the term is nowadays, what we consider dating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more, I call it courting. It's more of dating with the intent of marriage. So it's not like I'm just, if I meet someone, I take them out, get to know them, communicate and stuff like that, just like a normal person would. Mm-hmm. But if I don't see those qualities that I'm looking for as a wife or anything like that, I cut that off, And I don't go out seeking a woman. I'm more like me, I'm more casual with it. Like if I want to go watch a movie and I met someone, I call them, hey, you want to go watch a movie together? To them, oh, he asked me out. To me, I just don't want to watch a movie by myself, right? So I'm not looking at it as we're dating, but like if I say we go out and we go watch a movie, and let's say for some reason she wild out, or I ain't doing this. I have plenty of women ask me on the first time we go out, can you pay my light bill? Can you pay my? I'm like, and I tell them, you're not my wife, and they'll be like, oh, you ain't this. If that's what you see it as. You see what I'm saying? You're not for the sucker. You feel me? You can get the other guys that way, but they ain't gonna do me like that because women know. Yeah. But when they meet someone with standards and who understand their value, vetting becomes a lot easier because they eliminate themselves. So when I go into looking for a wife, I look for qualities, not just modern time quality, biblical quality. Because the Bible tells us what type of woman to look for, right? So she come out dressing provocative, and I already know, she ain't for me. Because she's not doing it for me, she's doing it for what she sees. And if I see her Instagram and stuff like that, she got her body all out, and if y'all on social media as a male, Facebook, you go strolling through your Facebook, most all women post the same picture, the same pose, either breast out, butt out, whatever, leg wide open. You can tell that's not a white quality. So I look for the appearance. Then once I say, okay, she dressed modern, she ain't explicit. You know what I'm saying? So I'll also try to get into her mind, see how she think. Hey, what you think about this? Because to me, I like a woman with natural hair. I don't do I say, hey, I don't like, she come with a wig, I don't like wigs. But they can do that. Oh, I'm gonna wear my wig. I don't care about, oh, okay, cool. I know she ain't for me then. Right? But I'm setting the ground rules. I'm letting her know. I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not beating around the bush or more direct. I'm telling you what I like, what I want, what I'm looking for in a wife. She can tell me what she's interested in, and we can depart ways on that first date. It's not no 6 months, 3 years, 4 years into a relationship. Now I'm deciding, oh, I got the wrong person. No, you weren't even vetting. You just going with the flow. No, I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking for. You either gonna comply or not.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. So when you see the person that matches all these things that you're looking for, you just go straight and say, marry me. Are you gonna say, yes, I've seen you and you have met all my criteria, can we get married? Or
well, see, the Bible say prove a friend first, right? So I have to prove her, meaning she gotta go through, check all those biblical boxes, right? But also we gotta be also mindful and wise about how we do things. because we know when we first interact with each other or meet each other, everybody has a representative. They want to be on their best behavior. No, I want to see you met. I want to see you in all your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because in anger, you may move a little different. Sadness, you may start talking something suicidal. So I want to get to know your spirit. Okay. I want to see the inner parts of you.
Yeah.
The inner part, the part that you don't want to show anybody else. But then as a man, I have to also open that door for you to be safe with me, to open up to me. So she has to see me as a husband, just as well I have to see her as a wife.
Okay.
So it's not something that I'm gonna overnight just say marry me. No, it takes time. But you got to get past the vetting phase. And once we get past the vetting phase, I say, oh, she got all the quality. Then I'll come to her and I'm like, okay, hey, I'm very interested in you, and I would like to take it to the next step and be committed and only talking to you. Because in the first phase, we just in a talking phase. We just getting to know each other. Now, I'm taking to the next step, which is commitment. And to me, I consider that as an engagement. Because the next step after that commitment is marriage to me. And I don't know how I roll up front.
Okay. Okay. Back to topic. But I was just curious because I've heard you say that several times. I just wanted you to clear that for me. Okay. So, Nige, do you want to say anything? Do you want to say anything, Nige? You just came.
Yeah, I actually agree with Buddy because, to be honest with you, after the person checked all the lists, you know, to me personally, I suggest y'all go on a vacation together, like spend a few days on vacation, or either y'all move in together and see how the person, you know how the person is when you with them.
That's going too far there for me.
Oh, that's going too far? To me, you got, the thing is, you got to see how they operate in their own space or how they operate in their own environment.
Listen, if you don't have the spirit of a discernment, then that's something you have to look within yourself. Because biblically speaking, it tells you what to look for when it comes to a woman. And you can, the scriptures say, let your light shine before men. You can look at a woman and tell, oh, that's a woman who values her body and also value her mind. I've had women come up to me all the time. And see, the thing is, as a man, you also have to have discipline. And what I mean by that is, let me say it like this, dick discipline, right? I haven't had sex, I haven't been intimate in years, right? And when I go to a relationship and I tell them right off the bat, hey, I'm looking for a wife, I'm not intimate and this and that. A lot of women be like, oh, for real? And they'll try you. Oh, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. But see, what I have learned is once you take that off the table and say, hey, I'm not looking for sex, beauty is vain, right? You'll find out a lot of women doesn't have anything to offer a man but that. I have women say, oh, you don't do this? And they'll be like, oh, you're not intimate? Oh, you waiting to marry? Yeah. And they'll leave. I'm like, cool, that's what you buy. But I'm not looking for just a quickie. I'm not looking for a fun time. Because a person will show you who they are if you take it off the table. So now she can't just throw her body at me. Now she got to come to me on an intellectual level. You know, she got to say, hey, I cooked your favorite meal. What are you interested in? Because she has to show me she has more to offer me than just her body. And that's what most men get caught up with when we dating a woman. Oh, I'll do this and I'll do that to get him. Which goes into that woman, the scripture called that succubus woman. She laid in her bed sheets. She said, hey, you can come on my house, lay down with me, because she know once she gets you that way, she can get whatever she want out of you. because now you booked. You had a taste of it. Now she can say, hey, I need my bills, this and that. Nah, we're not doing that. Show me what you have mental. Let me see you.
Real quick, the host, how you doing?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you got a point on there when you was talking about like taking like sex out the picture, you know, and you know a lot of like I can't say a lot of females, but majority of them like you know you take sex out, it's nothing really to offer, and you know in my age group, you know, cause I'm 30, so it's like the women in my age group now they're not even like wife material. Like they wouldn't cook for you, they can't wash clothes, um, etc. Sometimes they don't even own their own car and all type of stuff, you know. So it's like I get what you're saying about that, but I mean, as a man like me, uh, every man is different. Like you know, in our biology, like we always wanna, you know, have sex and you know, be entertained. But I feel personally like it's better to like stay single. Like me, I'm single right now because until I meet like that queen I'm looking for, I'm just gonna like focus on my bread, you know, make my money, you know, and when my queen comes, she comes. But I mean, until then, I'm just gonna entertain myself, have fun in the meanwhile. So I mean, it's different. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm that type of guy. You said it's discipline, but like it's kind of like difficult for me. You know what I'm saying? Basically, based off of like what I've been through as a child. You know, so.
Okay.
I agree with everything is spiritual when it comes to this. Because the spirit is weak, the flesh is strong. You got to get your spirit stronger than your flesh.
Yeah.
That's all. It's all a mental thing. That's why fasting is so important, because if you can deny yourself food and water, you can deny yourself those lustly desires. And that's how, which can prevent us from going in certain routes or being tempted by Satan. Because if you look at the world throws smack at the highest point of life. When you turn on TV, you see smack. Facebook, YouTube, all throughout the world, it's been displayed. So you definitely have to be spiritually aware of what Satan is out here doing. So that's why I say if you take it off the table, guess what? You're not easily susceptible to God, well, Satan's tricks. Because God created smacks for a husband and wife. But women say, oh, you gotta pay me $500 for this. No, there's no actual value what God's already given you. Because when you're intimate with a woman, there's an even exchange. You see what I'm saying? The only value it has is what men placed on it, and it's mostly men who can't discipline themselves.
Can I hold a contrary view? I know that this is not like a biblical view in any way, and I don't mean it to suffice for a religious position, but I think you cannot get married to a man or a woman that you don't have an established sexual compatibility. I feel like it's a thing. It's a thing that it's not everybody that is going to get you there. It's not everybody that is going to make you like it. And it's not enough to get married to someone after getting to know that they can cook, they can clean or whatever. And for me, I think relationship in 2026, the paradigm is quite different from that setting. You could actually, I feel like the most important part of the relationship in marriage is, I think sex is even more important. And the other thing is your ability to be able to communicate with each other clearly and understand each other's goals. Women or men don't have any kind of gender role in marriage as it used to be again. You could easily see a lot of people who are sit-at-home dad and who take care of their kids because their wife is working with one organization that's paying her well, whereas the man may be able to have a job but may not be able to earn the same money. Also, it's not quite rare to come across families where there's a shared role where a woman is working and a man is working too, and both of them come home and do their chores and share it and easily get their things done. So I feel like the idea that you're going to assess a woman to see if she's homely and whatsoever is quite outdated. And I strongly believe that you cannot marry someone you don't enjoy sex with. It's quite primary. So it's good to check that before you get married.
Let me speak on that. I know you talk
about that. Oh, sorry.
I know you talk about for is biblical. The reason I speak on biblical religion a lot, that's because that's what a lot of my principles lie on. So, but when it comes to marriage, I know you said that you have to be intimate with a person to know if it's good or not, right? But if we go back in the old days, we got what we had bride prices, right? And to be able to, pay the dowry, you normally pay the dowry when a woman is a vegan. I mean, not vegan, a virgin, I'm sorry. So when that woman lies with you in the sanctity of marriage, she's tied to you because there's a bond that's created within that intimacy because she's the only man you know and you the only woman she knows, right? I know we all had our first time, right? And I know my first time, the first woman I was with, I desired her, right? Within marriage. And it's like a drug that you want to fulfill over and over, but a lot of times that bond has to be broken. That's why it's so hard for a woman to get over a man when it's her first time, because that's that bond she has to overcome. They call it pair bonding, right? So if I'm the only man she ever known, how can it not be good? You see what I'm saying? So if you messing with a woman that's more promiscuous, of course it's not gonna be good. And then when it comes into intimacy, the man majority doing all the work when it comes to intimacy anyway, because the woman, she's more saying what, harder, farther, deeper, and all that. She's enjoying it more than you are. So you look at it, you go to a woman and you pay for it, and you doing all the work and you pleasuring her. You see what I'm saying? But you say, oh, I got to test drive it before I marry her. No, that's not biblical, man. That's only illusion that we sit here that says, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that.
I just want to point out that test drive doesn't represent my view on this case at all. I feel like my view is not that you have to test drive. I will point out I don't think a woman should be a virgin when you marry her, as you were pointing out, because why? If a man doesn't have to be a virgin, why should a woman have to be a virgin. The second thing is the idea of a dowry and a bride price is no. I'm very African, and I'm very in tune with like my own African culture, and I think the whole dowry and bride price things work very well where I come from. But we don't see it as a symbol of purchase. I don't think dowry is a symbol of purchase, even biblically. It's not a symbol of procurement. It's a symbol of how do they call it? Sacrifice. Can I be a bit biblical here? You see how when when God wanted to take us as his bride, as human beings, as sinners, and want to convert us to his kid, right? And take us from being sinners, wash away our sins, forgive our sins, and take us to his kingdom, he had to pay a price. And that price was the coming of Jesus. The culture, my own culture is that bride price was what is supposed to be used to hire people to beat you up or to take the wife back to their father. So it has nothing to do with purchase and procurement like that. And I will reiterate that there's no reason why you have to marry someone. I'm not saying if you can do it, fine, but I don't see a reason why you don't have to share a sexual intimacy with someone you're going to get married to before marriage. I know you will point out, if you point out religiously that, okay, it is a sin, I will understand with you, but socially speaking, I don't think the present day social dynamics allow for that easily. One, to get a virgin. Two, to risk getting into a relationship and finding out that your wife is not into you or you are not into your wife, or you guys even have separate sexuality. Three, there are a lot of other things that can happen. People's sex drive vary. It is a very large gray scale. Like there's one person in the other end of the graph and the other person up there. So if your sexual drive doesn't match, that will be a problem, because one person will be craving and the other person will be running, and it will be misunderstood as something else, but it has everything to do with you, like how you are built and wired. All those things play into this relationship. And I feel like religion, really like Christian doctrines of those days of dowry and all these things and being a virgin was right at the time. It solves the social problems of the people of those days. In 2026, I feel like if you follow that, it's going to not end well. I'm not trying to say it is wrong or anything, but I feel like I don't think it works.
Yes, I wanted to say something too before he even started saying something. Step, I wanted to ask you something. I wanted to ask. I think he even said what I wanted. He said a little bit of what I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask in 2026, knowing fully well that it's not as it used to be before. It is going to be very, very hard for you to find a virgin. You yourself, you're not a virgin. How do you intend to find a partner in this era where it is hard to find what you're looking for? Are you going to now start looking for a young girl that is probably 21? No, definitely not an option for you, Steph. How do you intend to achieve that, like getting this virgin that you want? Steph.
Okay, so when I brought up the virgin, right, I was talking in the case of what he was talking about, the bride price, right?
Yeah.
And I was bringing that also up towards the aspect of marriage, because he said that he has to be intimate with a woman before he decides to marry her. That's why I brought up virgins, right?
Yeah.
Because everything he was said for the foundation of the bride price was correct. Yeah, you do have to sacrifice, make a sacrifice just like Christ did for us.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, that's also to show the family that you are able to sustain the wife, because you got to go from, the woman's supposed to go from the father's house to the husband's house. We're talking about tradition, old tradition, ancient times, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how things were. And it was best for her to be a virgin because even biblical, when if a woman is not a virgin, guess what? The bride price was returned to whoever, the man is. It was returned, right? If it's found that she wasn't a virgin because who else, when you have a woman who's promiscuous after multiple men, the same problems we said doesn't work. What you said was it doesn't work in 2026, but I beg to differ because if women hold themselves to the same standards that we had back then, life would be a lot better off because nowadays we have fraternity fraud where women will sleep with multiple men and do not know who the father is. Even though we have DNA nowadays where we can, test the blood and say, oh, you the father, you not the father. But back then, they didn't have those things. So prevent all of that. That's why we had marriages for its virginity and stuff like that in virgin because we'll know, okay, this woman only been with me. And if a child is produced out of that, that man is secure in knowing that child is his. Because a woman that stepped outside her marriage, she was put, unalive according to scripture. You see what I'm saying? Biblical text does still hold in 2026. Now, yeah, you're true. There's not a lot of women who's keeping the standard when it comes to their virginity. But biblically speaking, a woman that is a virgin is more valued because a woman, she's supposed to retain her virtue, not give it away to any and every man. So, yeah, today it's much harder for me to find a virgin to be able to pay a bride price, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the aspect that I was speaking about when it comes to virginity.
Well, I would say, in this year we in right now, this century right now, when earlier he was talking about like test drive and stuff like that. Me personally, I think if the woman is not a virgin, you know what I'm saying? I don't see anything wrong with the test drive because you also got to remember too, she's not a virgin, so it's like if she had probably maybe 1, 2 guys, 3 guys, whatever, just an example, and let's say you guys have a liking for each other and y'all want to get married and stuff, and then next thing you know, when she tried you out, or she don't like it, you know what I'm saying, she don't like it, maybe you can't pleasure her, maybe you don't have that energy for her, so it's like in a virgin, if she's a virgin, it's more likely suitable for the man because I mean, even to say if he's not good in bed, the virgin can't really tell that because this is her first time. So it's like if he they get intimate with each other, it might have somebody who's better than him, but she only sees him because that's the first time. Versus if someone who's not a virgin, woman not a virgin, yes, she's gonna need that test run. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I've been in predicament where women they have good guys, but they still cheat on their men because the sex is not good. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that a lot, and that's a problem. So I would just say basically just virgin wise, like I mean any guy looking for a virgin, I mean it's fair for a man and a woman to be the virgin, so they can mingle with each other. You know what I'm saying? I think it's fair because I mean, a woman to go find a man like who's a virgin. I mean, she got experience, he don't, and it all depends on how he moving. You know what I'm saying? So it matters if the woman is a virgin, and if the woman is not a virgin, then you gotta make sure you have performance because you don't want to have a error in your relationship. That's why, me personally, I believe the test run shouldn't be an issue because I had a ex in my past. We've been together for 7 years, and you know we was friends and everything. And you know before we came in contact with each other, a relationship, we test drive. And when we test drive, hey, you know, we both like it. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't want us to call it test drive. It doesn't sound so.
They are calling it test drive
so,
before payment.
I'm just saying, you know.
Let me explain the key thing you said too, that y'all was friends and then you test drive. That goes into platonic relationship. But to get on topic, right? So you gotta also understand a woman that's already, you know, well, let's say not a virgin, right? And you say you want to be intimate with her, you taking on a lot of risk. You know, you got pregnancy, you got different spirits that can jump off on you.
STD.
And then also
STD.
you got STDs that can be an issue as well. So you're putting yourself in a lot of risk. Now, to talk about the woman, right? If a woman is into you, because see, when a woman is intimate, it starts mentally first. So you can say, oh, some guys, y'all gotta understand, some women are in survival mode. They will leech on to you just to survive. They will be in that long-term relationship, put them with all that just to survive, right? So you gotta understand who you're dealing with. If the woman doesn't desire you, she doesn't have that intimacy for you, and you can tell the difference. You gotta be able to be real with yourself and call it out when you see it, because most guys, what we do is, the woman is so beautiful, we push aside the red flags, and we're like, oh, she really ain't feeling me, but I'm gonna lock on to her because I'm still knocking boots. You see what I'm saying? And then you 8 years in and she cheat on you, it's because she never respected you in the beginning. That's why it goes into setting the foundation. A woman is gonna let you know in the beginning of a relationship if she truly desires you or not. If we go back to biblical time, with Adam and Eve, it says your desire shall be unto your husband. If a woman is not coming into your life and willing to please you, to make you happy, of course the intimacy is not going to be there for her mentally. See, we can get our rocks off with just our hands, right? Anything can get us off and get us started, but a woman, it's a totally different thing. You just can't just wake up in the morning and think she's going to be ready for you. So that's where it comes into, you gotta know how to move in a way where that woman sees that value in you and want to be intimate with you. You want her to basically lust out. And I'm talking in the aspect of wife and husband. Because most women, when it comes to intimacy, she's not giving back. You giving your all, you doing all the work in the bedroom, but guess what? She just landed. When you get a woman that's really into you, it's not going to be a boring. She going to be throwing that thing back and all kind of flips and all that. The stuff that you see on YouTube, here on YouTube that women talk about in the locker room, they going to do that for you. Because they doing it for the other guys out there that they desire.
I agree with what you're saying. But it's more to relationships than just having sex or test driving a woman. She's not a car, you know. A woman should be more respected, and it's not to agree with you.
For both. For not just the guy test drive. I mean like for both. Because the woman got it.
Wait, Jay, let him finish, yeah? Gino, you can continue, Gino.
We talking about test drive. We were talking about virginity, being a virgin. That's how we got on the subject.
Okay.
Test drive, but prior to that, we were talking about marriage and stuff like that. But some guy was like, "Well, I can't marry her unless I test drive." And that's how we got on that subject.
I disagree with that. I think it's more to women than that's talking to them like they're a car or something, or they're just a piece of meat,
Gino.
That's where we.
Wait, hold on, Steph. Sorry to cut you short. Gino, since you are here, you didn't contribute to the topic, the original topic that brought us here today, which is opposite gender friendships. Do you have anything to say? Do you have any female friends? Can you hear me, Gino? Huh?
What was your question?
I said, do you have female friends that you've known for a long time?
Yes.
Okay, and you're okay. Are you okay with your partner having male friends and it's fine with you?
What's the question?
Oh God. is it my okay, don't worry, Gino, it's fine. It's fine, Gino.
Yeah, you sound low.
Your mic is kind of low
here. Your sound is low.
Okay, I know why, because there's a background noise coming from him. That's why I had to mute him to ask the question. Sorry, Gino. I was asking, since you don't have a problem with I was asking if you had any problem with your partner, your girlfriend, your wife having a male friend. That was the question. Let me unmute him. Thank you, Hakim. Thank you. Gino, you can speak now. I've unmuted you. Gino, unmute. You can press the unmute button, but any other person can speak though. Hakim, do you want to join? Thank you for joining. Do you want to contribute, Hakim?
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, got you. Sorry, we kind of. Huh?
It's more to a relationship than just sex, though.
Okay, got you. The original topic has been moved. We have gone from the original topic to sex before relationship, or just we have kind of digressed a little bit. So at this point, the original topic was opposite gender friendships. Hold on.
Everybody different,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you're saying sex is not it doesn't make the relationship, but I mean you got people that if they want to be together with you forever, you got to be satisfying them, because if you can't satisfy them, then what's the point in relation? That's one of the big things too. I mean, you think like if you can't please your partner, I mean, she's gonna look elsewhere soon. Because I seen a lot of females that been in a good relationship. They got a good man. They pay the bills. They take care of her. Make sure she has everything she wants. And she still go out and do it because she said the main thing is that he does not satisfy her. He can't satisfy her. He can't get his boy up. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying. Sex is not a big thing in a relationship, but you gotta put it in a category like that too, because what I mean.
I agree with that.
Yeah, would you want to get a female, and she's probably more experienced than you. You can't handle her, and she's like, man, you're lacking the experience, so it's not fair to her. Vice versa.
I agree.
Well, we also can understand it goes into the quality of the woman that you seeking, because most women that are promiscuous gonna fall in that type of category. Because she's been with multiple men, it's gonna be more harder for her to what they call pair bond with you on an intimate level.
I agree with that. I think a man should cook sometimes too, though.
Yeah, I agree on that too.
Do you agree with
That's
that?
why.
Like, give her a break sometime. Be like, hey, I'll cook today. How about that? You know?
Yeah, in the sanctity of marriage, it's a give and take. The majority of relationships nowadays is more of the man giving and the woman taking.
Yeah.
Because most women nowadays are what I consider in survival mode. They're looking for a man to come in. They say, I'm a boss, but yet you got to come in and pay all her bills. Right? So it's like, they get the man, they try to use reverse psychology on the man to say, oh, the woman will say, oh, I'm the prize, but yet you want this man to come in, take care of everything you desire, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's easier for a man to leave a relationship and marry a woman, because most women are looking for a man to take care of them. I'm not looking for a woman to come into my life and pay all my bills, whatever my heart desires, to be able to take care of me emotionally, physically, and all of that stuff, but a woman is. So, man,
both men and women should take care of each other. It's a 50-50 thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we pretending that there is still a clear gender role in marriage in today's day? Because to say clearly, I've seen a lot of relationships. I've lived with my girlfriend before, and I've seen my friends who are married, and I've seen a lot of couples who are even far older than me and who have been in relationship for like 10 years. I think it's no longer a thing that a man should cook sometimes.
I agree.
Yeah, what is it? What is the sometimes all about? Like, it's a woman thing, and then a man is supposed to do it sometimes. It comes to it from a place of how you're assisting a woman to cook as if you are. Yeah, but it's not like that. I think a woman and a man share the chores in the house, right?
I like cooking, so I don't have a problem with cooking.
Exactly. Most relationships these days, men are even better chefs, and they do all the cooking and a lot of time. And it's not like a man should cook sometimes because he's helping a woman. It's not a woman's role to cook in the house, in a home. I know that it's been like in a traditional marriage where, like, let's say biblically stating, or like culturally, in many cultures, it was easy to say it is the role of a woman to cook, because a man had a more serious role to play too, which was like going to, like, if it's in Africa, going to the farm, going to hunt. If it's in like America, going to mine the coal or to harvest something in the field. So this gender roles were quite different. So a woman could find it very tough to survive in, let's say, in a hunting field where there are a lot of dangerous animals and where there are a lot of thorns. But in today's day and age, we can't say there is any gender difference in role played by a woman in the house, because outside the house is outside the home. The man can do exactly what a woman can do, and a woman can do exactly what a man can do. You could see now women have risen in political powers, like women have been prime ministers and presidents of countries and headed corporations and headed multinational organizations. Women have started businesses and succeeded. I have a woman from my country having is Conjuela. I used to argue with one of my friends. I'm like, this lady is sitting as a leader in one of the biggest organizations in the world. Do you think she can cook for her husband? If you want to come from a traditional point of what a home is and the gender role, that's not possible. It's not going to be possible. So it's not a split decision of the role of a woman. There is a clear scale to it. Some homes, it's possible that the girl do a lot of, it has a less tedious job, come home earlier, work shorter hours. In that case, fine, it could be considered that, okay, a woman should do some of the chores and more. But if a man works shorter hours or do a less tedious jobs or come home quite earlier than the woman from his job, why shouldn't he do the chores in the house, like cooking and making the bed or whatever?
We are not arguing that.
Communication is a big important part too, but nobody is talking about that part. You have to have good communication as well.
Okay.
Let me speak on that. I do understand, we like to cancel out gender roles, right? But
I'm not canceling. I'm just saying is sometimes the man can cook because, like I said, I like to cook, but sometimes I don't mind doing the cooking.
Well, that aspect, I do agree with you, because biblically speaking, when most people say they want a traditional man, most people are talking about biblically, right? So when it comes to that, the scriptures tells us, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. So if we look at the miracles that Christ did, he healed the people, he fed the people, he clothed the people, right? So we can get into that give and take aspect of marriage, right? And also he gave his life for the people. Just like with most men, when you have a wife, guess what? We're going to do that for our wives. We're going to protect our household. So, in that aspect, majority of women on this earth always ask for a traditional man, a God-fearing man. If I say to a woman, hey, I want to be a stay-at-home dad, I don't want to work, I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll do this, it's going to limit my choices when it comes to finding a wife, because majority of women going to be like, oh, you expect me to go to work? You expect me to do this? Hey, I'm going to do all the cooking and cleaning and washing clothes.
I'm not saying that, though. I'm just saying sometimes, it's okay for the men to cook. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
we got to look at
I want to stay home because I work every day. I'm not the type of guy that stay home.
Well, that's what society is trying to push. Women to be more independent, to be more of the breadwinner, right? But yet they want that traditional man, and they kind of go against what they desire.
They don't want the black man in the house. That's why.
Right. So that's why I always go back to biblically, because when it comes to finding a wife, you have to set the ground rules. Even though she may be a president or a CEO, when it comes to that household, which is the kingdom that you and your wife is building together, hey, this is how I go. I'm the leader. Most women looking for a man who can lead them, not looking for a man that they can lead.
I agree with that.
Okay. I want to ask you a question. Steph, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so Steph, I don't know. I know it's not about you, but I've been just picking things from when you speak. Have you even met any good quality woman recently? But because it seems like your experiences in dating or trying to find a woman has been bad. Would you say that in recent time that you have met a good quality woman, because you are so big on that, like you keep referencing good quality woman. Have you met any recently?
Well, in my aspects of looking, I met very few. And the reason being, a lot of people tell me my standards are a little out there, right? But like I tell them, I'm willing to wait and searching for that quality woman because, biblically speaking, most women not carry themselves like they used to back in the days. A lot of women not holding themselves to a certain standard, biblically speaking. Most women are promiscuous and most women don't understand the order and structure that God gives us. So I do understand it's going to be very difficult for me to find that woman that I desire, biblically speaking. But, as the scriptures say, he that finds a wife finds a good thing. So I look at life as, I may have to go through a lot of lumps of coal to find that diamond.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
Because the scripture speaks about that virtuous woman. A lot of women are being pulled away from being that virtuous woman because, like you said, it's more than just cooking and cleaning. It's also a mindset in that. Because back then, a woman used to know how to sew as well as cook, clean. She know how to be able to heal with herbs. A lot of women don't lost that craft, right? So we go to doctors and stuff like that. Your wife say, hey, babe, you got that cough, take this herbal drink right here. We lost that knowledge, the home-cooked meals. That's why you go to other countries, from what I'm here, I haven't been outside of the United States, but from what I'm hearing, when people travel to other countries, the food quality is a lot different because majority of that food is home-cooked with natural ingredients. But here in America, we have more chemicals, which over here in America, I look at it as more of a profit base because you got companies pushing to make more profit rather than the benefit or the health of the people. And that's when home-cooked meals come more important to me than being able to go out and eat at every other restaurant. So I do hold that a lot of value. But yeah, for me dating, yeah, I haven't really came across a woman who, have those same morals. I have some have that ideology, but when it comes to standards for the household, as me being a biblical man who wants to be the leader of the household, who wants to fulfill my duty as a husband according to God's word and not the world, it's kind of difficult when you find a woman like that.
Okay, got you. Edwards, can you hear me? Can you say anything? Yeah, you said your network is bad. Can you say anything, Edwards?
I can hear.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the topic?
So the topic
is, can man and woman be friends?
Yeah, like opposites gender friendships. Does it work? Like, is it possible for a man to be friends with this very beautiful woman and not at some point start?
The woman can be friends with the man, but men always have different intentions. Plus, women typically like are more wanting of something from the man more than the man is gonna want, and a lot of times the man will get attraction. So I think it's a thin line. It's a thin line, and a lot of men know that majority of women cheat when they're in close proximity to different men, whether they're at work, friendship, you know what I mean? So it's not to say that, it's because women now are more promiscuous in that sense where they'll just go out of the normal, innit?
What of men?
Because they know that the man, like if they're friends with a guy, right, let's say they gonna catch feelings. They gonna catch feelings. That's your background?
No, hold on. I'm going to mute him. Yeah, I mute him. Let me cut him.
I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, it's a thin line. But like, let's say for instance, if me and you is friends, and I have a girlfriend, right, and you have a boyfriend or whatnot, more if I'm talking to you as a friend and like say for instance I sleep with you, I'm gonna keep that to myself majority of the time, keep going, and I'm not gonna go and tell your boyfriend like, yeah, you know, I'm sleeping with your woman. But as a woman now, as a friend or whatnot, you start catching feelings, you're gonna more than likely go and say, hey, look, I'm this, that. Plus, when you have a friendship and you get in a relationship with another person, they don't really want you to be friends with opposites, the opposite, right? So it's a thin line that you walk on. But me personally, like if I'm married to you and we're in a long-term relationship, I'm not saying that you can't have associate a person that you know for a long time, and if they say I am bi in that sense, but you're gonna go have brunch and you're gonna go hang out and you're sitting on the phone talking to and all that kind of thing like that. Nah, it's not gonna.
Okay, you just said basically like, okay, if you're the so you got a girlfriend and your friend got a boyfriend, and basically you slept with her, and you know you're gonna keep your mouth closed because you know guys they don't really they're not like we don't like to talk. Okay, fine. Now think of it as the other way around, where actually your woman, your girlfriend has a best friend, and the best friend is messing with her, and you don't know, and he don't want to talk. So if you know, if you like how would you feel like if you had known that was happening, or like while you were doing the same thing, you know that was happening to you at the same time? How would you feel about that?
Edwards.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Now, I'm trying to put what you're saying in perspective. Like, as to say, like, if my woman has a friend and she's cheating around,
yeah,
with the friend and me not knowing, how would I feel about that?
You know, he was making reference to what you said earlier. You said if you had anything with a girl, you would keep short. You wouldn't say anything to the guy she's dating. So he's asking if it was to be you.
The thing is that, let's say for instance, because what typically happens, as I said, is like woman, it's not to say like some men don't fall in love with the person that's a friend or whatever, whatnot. But that's not majority of the cases, as to say like if it was the woman that is creeping around with the friend. So I'm trying to get a better understanding of what he was saying.
Okay.
So basically what I was saying earlier, you said that we was talking about if it's good for a woman to have a friend and a guy to have a friend, you know, and you said yeah, and you said you know, if you have a girlfriend and your friend has a boyfriend and you guys end up having sex with each other, you said you're not gonna tell because you know guys, you know, they don't try to tell and stuff like that. You're gonna keep it a secret. So I said vice versa. What if, okay, your girl has a friend too, and it's a guy, and she's sleeping around with a same friend, and the friend keeping it a secret too. So I want to know, how would you feel about that? I mean, I'm just saying because. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like within itself that within you as a man, it's like it's not that you don't trust the woman, you don't trust other men, right? Because you understand where it's gonna go out, where they're gonna move at, and you know he might get her on an off day, but when you get her on that off day, whether it's a one-time thing or not, he's more than likely to go keep his mouth shut, as to say like with the woman. If she catch the feelings or whatnot, she's gonna go and she's gonna say, "Hey, this is what they know. Me and him, we had a relationship. Blah blah blah, blase blase."
Okay.
That's just what I was saying. I wasn't saying, and I said it in context. I said if you're married, right? If you're dating, relationship, and married, right? That's three different things. So I said, like, if you're in a relationship, you can't stop a person from having associates in that sense, right? But you also can't really like say like you're trying to control a woman and then tell her like say like she necessarily cannot have a friend unless you set that boundary from way out, right? Like you have to set those type of boundaries so that she understands and say, hey, you know what, my man find it disrespectful that I'm doing this or not, so that she does not do it. Right, in most cases. And you know, a lot of women also do not date because they know how women are. They don't really want no woman to be friends with their man either.
Thank you. Okay. I think I understand what he's saying. He wasn't really saying it literally, like he was making an example with it, saying that guys would keep short if they ever did anything with your woman. I get you, boss. So, question: if you start developing, yeah. Wait. Okay. Question. Yeah. If you start developing feelings, I asked the question earlier when most of you guys were not here. So if you start developing feelings for a female friend, would you risk the friendship by saying anything to her, or will you keep short? Because most of the time when you say something, she says, "What? What do you mean?" Like, it can change everything, and then you guys go from being friends to enemies. Like the whole thing is ended. So would you risk that friendship and tell her how you feel, or will you keep short?
Well, I got two answers to that. For one, we most men, like if it comes to a point that we get intimate with our friend and we have a wife or girlfriend at home, between females and males, the woman more for have the chance to fall more in love than the man. You know what I'm saying? It's men, when we go out there and you know get our little play and stuff like that. You know, sometimes it's just for a play. A woman have to like you in order to sleep with you. Men, they don't have to like you to sleep with you. They would sleep with you. Is a difference. So it's like we men, we can sleep with who we get a chance with. Women, they can sleep with who they like. You know, so but if I was to start to catch feelings, I would shut it down. If I'm just saying if that was to happen, because it's like it's not supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, as a man, if you got somebody at home that's your main woman, and you went and go outside and go mingle with the next woman, then you shouldn't be catching feelings. Versus the woman, like if she go lay down with another guy, she's gonna catch feelings because she have to like the guy to lay with them. The men, we don't have to like the woman to lay with them.
Okay. Okay, I think that
I don't think Livia didn't necessarily mean if you were in another relationship. I think.
Yeah.
Or did I get you wrong?
No, you didn't.
I think the question is, okay, you have a platonic friend and you both are single. Will you express your feeling to them?
Or if I'm not in a relationship and I have a friend and I fall in love with her, well, okay, I say yes. In that case, yes, because I mean, it started out as friends, and you know we're getting to know each other, and if I start catching feelings for you, that means like you know I think you're a great person. So I had a relationship like that. It was for 7 years, and we was friends first before we got together. So yes, I would tell her how I feel.
Okay. It can just bear in mind that, hold on, just bear in mind that it can also go another way. She can say no. And then it becomes awkward.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. Anyway, I think that, let me see how long you've been here. I think you've been here for like 2 hours now. Oh, almost 3 hours. Really? Okay. So does anybody have anything to say? Because at this point now, I think I should end the panel. Zigo, now you want to come up? Really?
If you end it, I'll flog you.
You gonna be up here all night, so you better cut that mic, Trials. You gonna be up all night.
I'm
Okay.
not gonna risk it, to be honest, because the truth of the matter is that you can be madly in love with her and then she just sees you as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes relationship can spoil a good friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you guys break up, you guys can't be that close again.
Mm-hmm.
The vibe and everything is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So before I even think of telling her, oh, I feel the same way or stuff like that, or this is how I feel about you and all that, I'll first understand my place in her heart, how she sees me. If she sees me as a bro, I'll stay as a bro, I'm gonna exit.
Mm-hmm.
But if I see that she's actually giving me the green light
Mm-hmm.
and all that, then I might risk it. If it turns out good, fine. It turns out bad, then I go my way. Because trust me, I've been in that circle and it's crazy weird.
Okay.
It's crazy weird. So I won't risk it for anything. If the person is a good person, I won't risk it.
Okay. Chai. I feel like Zigo, can you mute?
Sorry?
Can you mute?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I feel like guys go through a lot. Like I feel like guys go through a lot. Sometimes guys have to like bottle up like emotions and feelings out of fear of is either rejection or losing a friend. We don't always feel a lot like you guys. We feel, but I don't know. I think it's on you guys' part. So I feel like guys go through a lot. You'll be talking to a girl every single day. You like this girl, you cannot even say anything. You just keep it to yourself out of fear of losing the main friendship. So sorry, guys.
I think
Prime example.
Sorry.
I wanted to say that exactly that I will want you to let your friend know and talk to them. You guys should talk it out. Bottled up emotions when it comes to attraction doesn't end well. It will end up it will spoil the way you react to everything they do, because the frustration is coming from your own deep-seated infatuation with them and not being able to express it for that fear of getting rejected. Because the thing is, you've not said it out, but you've already had that rejection emotion built inside you already. You had all the frustrations, so the emotions will become too bad, and you end up losing that friendship. There's no way you will protect that relationship without expressing it to them. The idea for me is that you should let them know, but you know how to approach a girl and tell her something in a way that you let her know that it's not to do or die affair. But expressing it that way will ease it off with it from your heart, from your emotion, and then it makes it easier for you to have build a better relationship, whether romantic or continue to build a platonic relationship with them. If you bottle it up, it's going to burst. She will just call you code one day or laugh at your show and you bust. Like seriously. Because she is seeing you as a guy, but you are seeing her from a different level as someone you love, and all those frustration and all those things you want from a lover, you expect it from her. You will not know you're doing it, but you will definitely do that once you're in love with someone.
Yes, I want to say something. It just reminded me of something. Sorry. It just reminded me of something. Somebody I know that was a friend that started having feelings for me. How I got to know was he started acting jealous. You're not my boyfriend, and we have never had such a conversation. It's not like he asked me out and I said no. I see it as a friend. So when I am talking to other people, the way he reacts, I started getting I said, oh wait, it's like this person has started taking our friendship to another level. So like what you said, the emotions will start coming out without you even knowing. So the person was bottling it up, but then he would react or he would show jealousy when somebody else is talking to me. So yes, that's one way you can also tell if your male friend or female friend, that somebody that is not supposed to be your boyfriend, platonic, is having feelings for you?
If I can speak on that, that's why, like what we talked about earlier, right? Everybody said, they wouldn't risk that friendship.
Yeah.
So they fall in love with her, like you were saying. That happened to you.
Yeah.
Well, they fall in love with them, and then they hold their tongue and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to keep it real, because I'm going to follow this up because I don't want to ruin this, right?
Yes.
Me, if I was in a situation like that, I wouldn't torture myself, because now you put yourself in a position where you see her going out, you love her, but you see her going out from relationship to relationship, and she coming to you telling, oh, this guy did this, or this guy did that, and you in your mind like, I want to do you like that, all you got to do is just come to me, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't torture myself that way, but then on the flip side, I do understand. Most guys will put themselves in that situation hoping that woman would reach back and say, hey, you've been a good friend, you want to go out? And that's why me, when it comes to relationship and seeking a wife, I don't allow her to have male friends just because of that, because most guys would sit back waiting on that one day for her to come crying and say, hey, this what's going on, and he can swoop in and say, you know what, I've been feeling this way about you, and now you break up and you see her and the best friend together, and you like, I knew it the whole time y'all was doing so. But you gotta stand on 10 toes. Some guys, y'all gotta understand, your value, and you got to be able to reach out. If you love someone, you got to understand, we talking about love, we ain't talking about like, we talking about love someone. You're gonna have to put yourself out there and say, hey, you know what, look, I like you, we've been friends for this long, this is what I want to do. And if she say, no, I only see you as friend, understand, you're gonna have to end that and walk away. It's gonna be hard, but you got to do it, not just for her, but also for yourself, because now you're torturing yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta be a man and say, you know what, take it on the chin.
I feel like the relationship is going
to. What I would say about that is that most of the times the guys set the tone too in the beginning. So let's say if you meet this girl, she looks nice. You're seeking her out, and you guys became friends. Majority of the time of the first stage, when a guy and a girl becomes friends the first time, they have to have some type of a liking for you before like it comes to that friendship. Because it's like, I can't just be friends with somebody I don't like. You might like something I do. You know what I'm saying? You might have something that makes us friends that you like, like what I do, or you like what she does. And most of the times, like, this never happened to me before. I have friends that I know I don't want to be with them, date them, so I set the tone, and we're friends up to this day. Now, it will have a time where I got a friend, I meet her maybe 1 week, we're talking, whatever, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, been a month, and I set the tone, and we end up dating. It all depends on the man too. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't throw the cards in a timely manner, then you're gonna end up staying being a friend. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a reason for friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're that friend, you just came into her life, and if you made it interesting to the point that now she starts to see you as, oh yeah, I like this guy, I want to deal with him, then cool point for you. But if you're that type of guy that she's looking at you like, oh yeah, he's just a friend, your game is off and stuff like that, it happens. So that's why, as guys, we set the tone. So if you like this girl for the longest, and you love her, and you've been friends with her, and you never even like set the tone from the beginning, of course you're gonna be stuck in that friend zone, because you already lose your chance. Pretty much, you lose your chance. It never happened to me before, but if I like somebody and we're friends, and and we click. It's something that I like and something she liked. But if it doesn't go in the way how like a liking each other, trying to get with each other, then it's just friends. That's about it. That's it.
Okay.
So I mean, I agree with you guys saying that, hey, the guy, if he loves her and if she gets turned down, yeah, he should walk away, fine. But he had the opportunity to do something about it the first time. It always happened.
Yeah, I feel like people don't develop emotion for others always at the first point of their contact with each other. Sometimes it takes time, and probably it comes in the middle of a relationship when you guys have prolonged contact and that kind of thing. I think it's possible for that to happen. But what I wanted to point out was the need for emotional intelligence when handling someone who expresses a feeling for you is that it's not a crime that somebody fell in love with you.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's a compliment. It's like, I find you interesting. I want to know. So it's easy to, I've heard this, I've not seen it myself, experienced it, but it's easy to see girls break a relationship because the guy showed interest in dating them. You get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that is not the way to go. You guys can talk it out. You can actually say, no, I really don't see you that way. Is it possible for us to be friends, or can we talk this through? And the idea that once one person developed a feeling and the other person did not reciprocate it, it means the relationship ends. It makes it look like love, that feeling doesn't die down. If you guys establish that, I have established that with a friend before, and I see that at the end of the day, the feeling died down. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
We keep contact, we talk, we chat often, but it wasn't for that again. And sometimes it's possible you just end up saying that what your friend needed was someone in her life at that time. And sometimes it's not even about you that much.
Mm-hmm.
And you can speak there and support them and define love and then move on. And you will be the happiest person to find a partner that love them and cherish them and respect them because they are your friends.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think there's a way to build a very sustainable relationship. You don't have to break up and go apart. I don't think that is the whole end to it. But I would say that it also matters how the other person approach it. I have a very funny story. I've confessed a love to someone I met and was my friend before. So this was in university. I have this study partner and we're very good friends. You get it? You know those people you just put like smarty pants and then you just study and you share knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Then I developed feelings. Then I became insecure and I was worried about everything. Going out to see her was a whole how do they call it? Trigger for anxiety for me, because I knew very well I had this feeling and I couldn't confess it until one day I was so confident. I don't know, probably I drank too much coffee, but I just told her, you know what, I'm in love with you, but the thing is I can't love you. Exactly that word. That was what I was telling her. And she said, why do you feel you can't love me?
Mm-hmm.
That was it. She knew very well that I wanted to say it out. And she was like, oh, I'm glad you said it. And she was very helpful and we remained friends for longer. She's married now. And the friendship did not break.
Okay.
I was not in love with her to that extent that I wanted to, that bad as it may look like.
Yeah.
It was because I was single and I just broke out of a relationship and she was there and it was very nice and saw me through and I fell in love.
Wait.
So later on I moved on.
Can I
So
say?
I feel like this thing should not be the end to a relationship that one person develop feeling. You can always walk through it. Because relationships consistently, there will be these two things, falling out of love and falling into love. Even when you get into marriage, that's why it's easier is going to have anybody if they know very well that there will be a point in time in their long-term relationship that their partner will fall out of love completely. So those are the situations you prepare for, and you use emotional intelligence to handle those kind of situations because they are not going to last forever, and you cannot lose a very valuable relationship because of very how do they call it? Simple things that are just temporary.
Okay. So I understand what you're saying. Yes, it shouldn't be like that, but most of the time it always is like that because there is this you know that guys have ego, right? So when you reject a man, most of the time you have crushed his ego. He becomes somehow he starts feeling uneasy or somehow like maybe embarrassed. So how then some people don't feel like that it is possible to have a smooth relationship with that same person after they've been rejected by that person. So I can understand them. And for the woman it is awkward. I don't know, like you see me this way, how am I supposed to now, like I don't know, it's very very hard to maintain a relationship or a friendship after such a thing happens.
A lot of the time when that person is the friend, right?
Yeah.
And you go through 20, 30 breakups, and you end up trying to go right back to that person in the long run. And he already done seen all the stuff that you done been through. And let's say, for instance, because most women think that men just have like a lot of women lined up, right? The mindset is completely different than what the man is. So you're gonna see him in his relationship, if he's a good person, if he's stable, if he take care of his woman and all of those kind of things, you might go back and try to make that one call down in the long run, right? But every woman said they want a man to be a friend first before they even get in a relationship, etc., etc. So it's just like what he said about the friend zone.
No.
So try not to get into that whole friend zone and stuff like that. But it's also for the men too to actually be straightforward and say, hey, this is what whatnot. This is what I'm expecting. I gotta set boundaries too, because like one of the biggest things is like when you're having a conversation with a woman in a one-on-one way, no matter how small it seems, one person is developing an emotional bond with that person in that sense, right? In some way or some another. Even if the guy is feeling you and he's just looking a different way, like, hey, maybe he just wants to sleep with you or whatnot. So it's as I said, it's a thin line. It's a thin line. But I think that if you're in a relationship, I don't think that you should even bother try to. Why would you want to?
Okay. Got you.
Plus, I mean, what is it like as your friend from you that you're gonna more than likely give it back to me in equal value or whatnot as a friend, because that's what friendship is supposed to be about. It's not just like a one-way street. Friendship is a relationship. Like woman and woman friendship relationship is completely different. Man and man friendship is completely different in how we talk to each other and like trying to get information and advice from each other. Like, so like if two straight men is having that conversation, he's not like, damn, she understands me, because as the woman you're there and you're trying to give him grace, you're trying to hear him out. You're trying to get a understanding or let him know that he's being heard for what he's saying, right? And then let's say, for instance, as the woman, that's the friend, you're taking that ear. So he's like, he's falling for you because he's like, damn, listen, look at this girl, like my woman wouldn't even give me this attention, So why don't I give it a shot with her? Maybe it'll work out. You feel me? And a lot of the time, the woman she's genuinely like, yeah. So when she do give you that chance and be like, you know what, let me give him some of the cookie and, let's try to do something, and then he get it, and then he's like, I waited this long and it's not what it's supposed to be, you know what I mean? Or I'm going through the same crap or whatever, whatnot. And then you just have this rift that breaks up, like good friendship. So it's like, it's a tough call.
Yeah, I can agree with you, like you said, it's an interior motive, right? Because like when you talk to a guy, we can have a genuine conversation, but when you talk to a woman, vice versa, getting advice, like you were saying, you can look at it and be like, dang, and you can give that person bad advice, or that woman can give that person bad advice because she see the value in your relationship. Because you coming to her and you're like, hey, what you think about this, or what's this, that? She's like, dang, like you said, my girl want to look at me that way, or give me that opportunity, or talk to me the way she talking to me. Now you have that interior motive when she come to you about that. Hey, leave that dude. He don't like you. Or because okay, I want to get with him. You see what I'm saying? That's why, I set the foundation in the beginning.
Now, it's not even just that, too. Men understand.
So you asked the question earlier before you came. Would you end a friendship you had with a female because your girlfriend or your wife had a problem with you being friends with that person? Would you respect your relationship and say, okay, my wife doesn't like you, I'm afraid I have to end this friendship with you? Or would you have a problem would you rather have a problem at home constantly with your wife or partner than break that friendship? What would you do?
It depends. Like, it depends on the boundaries that I have, and it depends, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna follow what boundaries she set, because there's a double standard. There's this double standard that is set in life, right? On certain things, like when it comes to consequences on a woman end, it's completely different. If you understand what I'm saying. So I'm not saying that I would not, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't, and that's the honest to God truth. It's not to say like, oh, just because she's my woman, if I had a friend that's such and such and such, that I'm just gonna automatically drop her as a friend from my life. But it depends on the friendship that I have with that person, right? Like me personally, right? Like, let's just say, for instance, if I've been with friends with her and I know genuinely, because I've had friends like this before, and I genuinely had no intimate thoughts of that person. Let's just say, yet I know that person's lifestyle, right? Let's say I know her and I know that she's a 304 in the worst way or whatever, whatnot, but she's still a homie, right? She cool. Yeah. But it's just not my type. I know what she do. I know how she deal with guys, and I know her for a long time. So it's like that her, I'm gonna leave because I don't have anything to really benefit from her in a sense. But if I have a friend that's really good, and if I'm down, let's say for instance, I'm down and I need help, and I know that she's the type of friend that's genuinely there for me. She does not have no ill intention with my woman and stuff like that I'm with, and I'm not married. Now, if I am married, that is completely different. But if me and you is not married, there's a reason why I have a marriage to you, and I'm actually probably trying to figure my way, or you probably have me hand up in some way, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just ride in this wave, right? But at the same time,
thank you.
That's another tough one. But I'm not gonna 100% say that, but I'll probably give it like an 80-20. Okay. And it have to be on my discretion to say, hey, this person is not my friend. Okay. Because as I said, in most scenarios, man, I've dated a girl I've dated before, and I got that, oh, I'm insecure, and I'm like, all right, listen, I'm trying to make sure that my door is closed when my back is turned. You know what I mean? I don't trust a rock as far as I can see when I throw it. I might bust somebody head.
Relationship, marriage is tough. Sometimes you can still tell your partner that, see, I have nothing to do with this person, she's just a friend, I've known her, blah blah blah, and she's still insecure or he's still insecure, saying, I'm not comfortable with this person around you, you either choose between me or him, or me or her, stuff like that. And you just
Yeah, but that's the part what I'm saying. That is not a relevant reason to me in that sense. It's like you have to have a definitive, like, way to say. It's like saying, like, okay, you know what, you've been acting this way, and I do not like how you acting because this person. You understand? Just be straight up. Look,
Yeah.
I feel like he has a sexual attraction to you, and I think that it might lead somewhere further in the long run, that both of y'all gonna have, you know what I mean? And this is what my mindset is on. If he respects the relationship with me as a man, right? With me as a man, because him as a man, and I'm telling you right now, him as a man, unless me and him is friends, if me and him is friends, is not friends, it's not gonna happen. But let's say for instance, if me and Steph or anyone we grew up, we friends, we understand that we're not gonna cross each other's line, even though you have a lot of these men that's crossed that line. And I'm not gonna lie to you, men who do that, I think that they should be gone. That is just like the betrayal of the century in that sense. You know what I mean? I also don't think that women that are friends with women should also do the same thing. Like it's a lot of single men out there. It's a lot of single men out there in that sense. That you're gonna go and sleep with that friend just because, you know what I mean, to take it away, because you cause such a rift between friends. It's bad enough when a man and a woman friendship ends, you know what I mean, you and your homegirl who've been together for so long, and just because you crossed the line. So it's different things to it. So like, say for instance, I believe that a friendship between a man and a woman can work that way. As I said, like, you know what I mean? Hey, look, but that's not gonna be an intimate friendship, because she's not gonna call him and be like, oh yeah, unless she probably say, hey, can you help me with him because this is whatnot, but we're not having a conversation. Hey, talk to your friend, he's been acting like this, so we can have more relationship, and then drop it off there, not calling my friend like go after that, and then having intimate conversations and stuff like that. So as I said, it's different lines in friendship, you know what I mean, that can cause, like, that is a love and hate relationship between the two people.
Okay.
Yeah, I speak on what Edwin was saying, if y'all don't mind. Now, with my friends in our circle, what you were just speaking on, like, we have a code what we don't do, and we both have an understanding because we both have the same view aspect when it comes to life and relationship. Like, if I'm out of town and my friend stop by, he want to see me, and he knock on the door, and she be like, hey, he not home or whatnot. My friend, he would wait outside, because she would, when he you come on in and sit down. Now my friend be like, hey, I'm going to wait till Stephanie get here, and when he get here, we'll chop it up. That's a friend, hey, I ain't finna get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? That's respecting your friendship. Because I know, like you were saying, if we all was friends and we hang out, I want to allow my friends around my woman when I'm not around, and vice versa. Because they keep that from happening. Because those friends can, like, look at your relationship, and even though y'all been married for 20, 30 years, hey, he might catch feelings. He might be like, hey, this is my chance. Stephen ain't home. Let me see if I can squeeze up in there or something. I agree with you. A man that does that is a disgrace, but it happens. So to prevent that from happening, he be like, hey, I'm going to stay outside. I'm going to wait on Stephen till he get here. And then vice versa. If I'm going over his house and his wife there, and he said, hey, man, I'm about 10 minutes. All right, I'm going to wait in the car till you get there.
Yeah.
Keep confusion down. Because if I come in there and she fixing me something to eat and doing all this, my home goes, hey, man, what's going on? What the heck? or catch me in a position, and I'm like, nah, man, it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it ain't like that. She was just tying my shoe. You know, like, keep all that down. You know, hey, I'm gonna respect you. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna wait till you.
No.
I don't allow my see.
Even
The
if
Bible says, sustain from all appearance of evil. So to keep myself from being in a position like that, I'm avoiding it. I'm gonna cut it all out, regardless. You know, hey, we ain't doing all that. Now, if my friends have wives, my wife can be friends with their wife. They can call their wives, but like you said, to be on the phone calling my homeboy, something like, yeah, chopping it up. Nah, we ain't doing that. Something wrong. Okay. Now, if I'm wilding out somewhere and my wife calls my best friend, say, hey, come over here and get your homeboy or something like that, that's a different story.
Okay.
But like,
there's a huge
my
boundary.
friends becoming my wife friends, nah.
Yeah, there's a huge boundary. Like
we gotta lay the foundation. We gotta have boundaries.
I don't even have a right to have my boyfriend's friend's phone number, except it's really, really important that I have to call him and say something to him. He's not my friend. When he if he's also dating or married, yes, his wife and I can be friends. We can all go on double dates. We can go to their house. They can come to our house. But he and I in the same space, it's going to be awkward. What am I going to say to you? I'll just be trying to like laugh awkwardly. I don't know what to say because it's not supposed to exist. Okay, so we have all agreed that the only person that said he's okay with his girlfriend or wife having a male friend. I think it's Fulcrum, and it's only okay, not just him and Gino, but Step and Edward said no. Every other person, you didn't give your own opinion, Nige. Will you let your girlfriend have male friends? Is Nige still even here? And FCT, you did not say anything. No, you didn't give. I don't know what you think. You've been here from the beginning, but you didn't say anything. Are you okay with your girlfriend having a male friend? Or yeah, you said that already. We know.
I don't have a problem with it.
Sorry, when Edward was talking, I wanted to just point out some nuances since he was actually pointing out some things that I completely agree with. I feel like there is a fine line between reasonable concern and some level of paranoia and insecurity. So if my girl wants me to cut off a long-time relationship, it will be a decision that I will weigh based on why she wants me to cut off the relationship. If it could just be a sign that this person is insecure.
Yeah.
And you will just know that you're not going to deal with that in the long term because it's not going to end with cutting off your friendship. It will be cutting off other things, over other people as time goes on, and it continues, and it's like a slippery slope. Get worse as it gets on. So, but if I feel like she has like a reasonable doubt, like I feel like you talk to them so much. I feel like you prioritize them. I feel like I discuss a problem with you and you shared it with her. I feel like instead of you telling me your problems, you actually discuss it with her. Or I feel like I advise you and you went back to seek her own advice and hit her own advice. Those are really, really reasonable points, valid reasons why you should cut off. If you are in a situation where you find yourself doing that, as far as I believe you should have opposite sex relationship, I feel like you should wait and feel like, yeah, that is really, really damaging and you should cut off the relationship. But if it's on the basis of you're talking to the person, the person is your friend, and there are people who hold this strong opinion that they don't want their partner to have any opposite sex relationship. Like there's no condition to it. There is no room for anything. It's absolute. In that situation, I'm just going to say, nah, I'm not dealing with that.
Okay, so when you say you're not dealing with that, hold on, let me ask him this if I forget. So when you say you're not going to deal with that, like, this is not, it has nothing to do with you and your friend. Wait,
exactly.
When
I will know that it has nothing to do with
you and your friend.
It has something to do with her own.
It's just her, the way she feels. Now, this person you're talking about is your wife, the woman you have chosen to live with for the rest of your life, and she is saying, this woman is too beautiful for you to hang around and say she's your friend. I know you said she's been your childhood friend till date. I am still highly uncomfortable with her being your friend. I don't like that she calls you on the phone for you to be having gist and all of that. What will you do? Because she's putting you in a very tight position. Are you going to choose this friendship that has been there even before you met your wife? Or it's a very tough decision to make, but what will you do?
Wow, my wife, I'm not married, so I'm trying to build a scenario in my head. I feel like most of the friends I have are quite consistent. They have been in my life for a long time. So if I have a new girlfriend, it's always the girlfriend meeting up and finding that I have this pile of friend group that I always talk to. You get that situation, right? So the thing is, if she pointed it out during when we were in relationship, and I know that is a problem, I will use the situation I put out earlier and say, okay, is it reasonable? If it's not reasonable, then I know that this person is quite insecure as a person, and I'm not able to deal with that, or I'm going to deal with that. Yeah. But if the person ignore me being in a relationship with this plethora of friends that I have since primary school. I have a friend that still laughs at me for actually beating her in secondary school. Like we were fighting. So yeah, I was a small boy and we fought and just went and all those things. And then from being fighting in the class, we became friends. And we've been friends since then. So imagine you having this long-term relationship, have this history together, these people that support you through different times in your life. They turn out to be like family. They grew up close to your parents, so they know your parents. They look out for you once in a while. You get that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
You know very well that nothing is going to happen with these people because that is long overdue. Those are not the relationships you develop feelings for, because those kind of relationship becomes like more like siblings, nibblings kind of relationship. So in this, if the person end up pointing out in the marriage after we get married that I should leave a relationship she was quite aware of, I will have a problem with that. I will actually try to make her reason with me. See why this person is in my life. See the battles this person fought with me together, how the person has been helpful. That most of the time you could easily tell people why this person is so valuable to you. You get it? For me, or everybody that is my friend, I can pinpoint why this person is so valuable to me. You get it? And if I could share all the reasons why this person is so valuable to me and why I keep them so close and why you should trust me and you're never able to trust me, I will have a doubt that you trust me indeed. You get it? And if you don't trust me, then there's no need for a relationship. So some of these things come to, it's not about you. It's not about the dynamics of your relationship with another person. It could be about the internal dynamics of the relationship you have with the partner. And some of these things are pointers to other things that are changing in the relationship you've not even considered. Let's say you guys are drifting apart. You look for this aspect rather than break up your old time friend.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, I feel like this. If the guy is really your friend, he's not going to shoot a shot at your woman anyway. If he's really your friend.
Okay. Okay, you're responding to what was said
Let me
earlier.
speak
Okay.
on this real quick for a moment, guys.
Okay.
Um, so the question was, if your wife asks you to stop talking to a woman, right?
Yeah.
That's your friend, because that's what she had. Now, I know most you guys all stated that within reason. I can understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, most women do have insecurity. Most men have insecurity,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know, sometimes those insecurities are valid. Sometimes those insecurities not valid. But at the aspect of marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a woman that I'm married to.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I chose this woman to spend the rest of my life with,
Mm-hmm.
right? And as a man and as a leader, you know, whatever you choose, you bear the responsibility. So if I chose a woman that is insecure, whether it's valid or not, that's the woman I chose to spend my life with. So in the aspect of the situation, if my wife asks me to remove a person from my life that's a friend for 20, 30 years, it's done. Whether it's valid or not valid. That's my wife, and even though she have those insecurities, why continue having that person in my life causing problems in my marriage? Like you guys said, oh, you know, this, I will tell her how valuable this person is to me. Well, if your friendship is more valuable than the woman you married, then you shouldn't have married your friend. So, in that aspect, you should have married your friend who you see more valuable than the woman that you married, rather than the woman that you married, because you put your marriage above, well, you put your friendship above your marriage. And I don't think that's right, because when you marry someone, you set vows one to another, right?
Yeah.
I have marital vows, and I'm a man, I like to honor my vows. So if I'm gonna say death do us part for better or for worse, like I'm not gonna set anybody above my wife who I chose to spend the rest of my life with, let alone have children with. And if my friend, which is 20 or 30 years, I come to her and say, hey, look, you know, my wife, she uncomfortable with you, we're gonna have to cut ties or whatever. So what? So be it. Sometimes you have to make the difficult choice. For what? Peace, because your wife's supposed to be a part of you, biblically speaking, right? So you guys making up so many excuses why you should hold on to this female friend, and I don't see anything that should be more prominent than your wife.
If I'm the wife,
validation,
if I'm the wife, I would want you to end the relationship. Though I'm not that kind of woman.
Vice versa.
Yeah. If you ask me to, I will end as well.
She got a male friend, and in her life, I'm like, hey, I don't like him. Cut him out.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be no arguing, no all right, babe, cool, because we both chose each other.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm putting more value on my friendship than my marriage, then I should have married my friend of 30 years, 40 years.
Steph, can I ask you something briefly?
Yeah.
What will you do? What will you do in a situation where you know very well, you're very certain that your wife is not being reasonable at that point? You get it,
when
right?
It comes to a friend.
Yeah, she's getting it all wrong. There are situations you will see this clearly. She's getting it all wrong. She is not about that relationship. She knows very well there's nothing going on. You've not actually prioritized the relationship. All these things, all the factors I was pointing out. And then the second part of the question is, when it comes to this same your wife, asking you to cut relationship with your siblings or your parents, How would you handle it?
Hold on, can I say something?
Well, we talking about friendship, not siblings and
yes.
parents. Even then, I wouldn't cut my mom and dad and my siblings off. Now, I wouldn't also put my mom and dad and siblings above my wife.
Mm-hmm.
There's order and structure in everything we do. Because you got to understand, when two come together, they become one through the act of marriage and the act of intimacy, right? We're supposed to be one accord. We're supposed to agree together, but that comes with setting the foundation of that marriage in the beginning when y'all first met. Say, hey, these are the ground rules. That's why the scriptures say, he that builds his house upon this rock. That rock is God's word.
Mm-hmm.
It's the foundation. Hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to do. This is how we're going to move. So when it comes to my family, nah, I'm not going to cut her family off. She's not going to cut my family off, but we also not going to set aside our marriage to uphold our family.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when my grandma, my mom, my brothers and siblings pass off throughout age, guess who's going to be there? My wife.
Mm-hmm.
And just how sometimes women put their children above their husband, saying they put all their love into their children and forget the husband. Guess what? When those children grow up, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go off and have their own family, and guess who's going to be left?
Mm-hmm.
The husband. So if I chose you forever, why put a friendship or family above that? Now, my friendship, I throw that in the trash. 20, 30 years, because a true friend, they're going to understand.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say, hey, I understand, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a situation like that where I had to cut my best friend. He was a guy, but I cut my best friend off, but he understood. And guess what? My ex-wife, we no longer together, and my friend, we back in the cut. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what?
Because
we
why hold on?
We couldn't be friends after that. Once you cut me off like that, I'll be like, nah, we good.
This is the same situation.
See, we gotta understand.
See,
my friends understand the sanctity of marriage. See, we may be homeboys when I was single, but when it comes to marriage, you gotta understand. Me and my friends, we understand. Well, we both are biblical. We both are traditional. So we understand the sanctity of marriage.
Wow.
So why cause problems in this man's house when I can say, all right, bro, I'll back down, handle your business, holler at me when you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why cut that off? For what? I'm going to stay around. Nah, bro, you got to keep me around. Nah, forget that woman. Forget that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, now I know I'm causing problems in this man's house.
Mm-hmm. I think that
I want to keep a friendship where I be like, all right, cool, holler at me later.
Steph, can I say something before I forget it real quick? So I think that what Steph is trying to say is that sometimes your partner or your spouse in a marriage can be unreasonable, highly unreasonable. But there are some things we do in the house just to keep peace in the home, just to have a peaceful home. Not because we don't know that the partner is saying something that doesn't really make sense. So that's why sometimes marriage becomes miserable, because sometimes you're just like, you just want to stay married, you just want to like keep a peaceful home, and you start doing these things, start making sacrifices. So I think that's what he's trying to say, and that's what I think. Sometimes we just make sacrifices just to keep the home.
I feel like that's not a sacrifice.
I don't think a biblical friend would cause problems in a marriage.
Exactly. I don't think that is sacrifice.
He knows he has structure, right?
Well,
I don't think
he does have
he's a true biblical man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a true biblical man, yes. But we got to understand the sanctity of a marriage. That's why the Bible speaks about no one knows the mysteries when it comes to marriage. Even, when you put God and children, right? We are his bride. Guess what? You think he haven't had to put up with unreasonable things we as sinners had to do? But he still forgave us. We was the ones who was unreasonable. We was the ones who were unsecure. But God himself still sacrificed himself for us.
Mm-hmm. It's not
That's the
easy.
same way as marriage. That's why God say,
it's not easy.
husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church.
Exactly.
So it don't say love your wife as long as your best friend say it's cool. No,
it's not about your best friend saying it's cool. It's not about you hitting your best friend's word. In this case, it's not your best friend versus your wife. I think we're getting it wrong. It's in this case, you're not choosing your best friend over your wife in this situation. In this is a situation where you are treating your wife as a toddler. And if I was in that situation, that is what I would think. Because there is no reason why there should.
I agree with you.
There shouldn't be a communication, a clear communication of why things should be, and come to an agreement. You are just making changes and just shifting ground. I don't think that is what emotional intelligence that works in marriages. It's just you just shifting ground just to avoid trouble. You could do that at work or with other relationships where you could ignore a lot of things because you don't want to put your head into it. But in marriage, when you're going to skip ground for your wife, it's not in those very sensitive areas that are important. It's in little things like small argument, who cleans the floor, you just go and clean it. That is a different thing. But when it comes to sensitive, big decisions, if you just agree with your wife because you are trying to sacrifice that, it doesn't make sense. And it would even result to the marriage lasting anyway, because where will you draw the line?
I agree.
Yeah, where will you draw the line that a woman says something that you find unreasonable and you agree with?
I agree. And he's not, and he didn't even stay with the woman anyway, so that shows you that, you know what I'm saying? There's got to be a level of understanding,
Let me explain. Marriage.
You just can't say. He said, I just can't cut everybody off and be like, look.
Now, I'm speaking in the context of friends.
Cut everybody off.
Right. Not talking about cutting everybody else, because your wife is an extension of you.
Especially right? A biblical. I would never cut a biblical friend off. If somebody's really in the word and stuff, I'm not gonna cut them off.
Exactly.
I have a spiritual bond.
You know that.
I'm not gonna just cut them off.
I think
you shouldn't text that talks about, the sanctity of marriage, right? So that's why I say my friend who is biblical understands the sanctity of marriage. Because your wife is an extension of you. Mm-hmm. Your wife represents you. So if you choose a woman that you're not willing to pretty much die for, then why choose her? You see what I'm saying? Because in the roles reverse, if she has a best friend, hold on.
What I'm saying is,
what I'm saying is, if the roles were reversed, and my wife has a best friend that I'm insecure about, whether my insecurity is valid or not, and I tell her, hey, babe, I don't like this dude, leave him alone, do whatever. And she gonna say, okay, babe, because why? She chose me.
Why would you be upset?
Well, a man can become insecure just like a woman can.
But what I'm saying is, say you've been going to church with this. See, you've been going to church with this guy for over 20 years. Y'all cool, and he's truly biblical. You just gonna cut him off like that?
Yes, sir. If I feel a certain way, right?
Y'all been going to church?
If I'm feeling insecure about it, and I come to my wife and I say, hey, babe, I have hold on, understand the sanctity of marriage. I'm coming to my wife and say, babe, I have an issue with this, right? I have an issue with this man. You've been friends with for 30 years. He's biblical and everything. Her heart, her loyalty is to me as her husband. Just as well,
Wow.
my heart and my loyalty is to her as my wife. My feelings should trump her relationship just as well. Her feelings trump mine, because guess what? I made a covenant with her. I didn't make a covenant with my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that there are certain feelings that you have to sort out with a therapist and not with your wife. In this situation, I feel I think I feel an ache that you are agreeing that if it is unreasonable, if cutting this person off is unreasonable, the partner has to do it. I feel like this is like treating the other partner who is the friend to that person as I don't know, I don't understand all
Who
the
is
friend.
more important?
No.
The friend
Who is more important than
it's not
Exactly.
about
being the rest of your life?
But it is.
This is not a decision of choosing your friend over your wife. No. I think you're getting it.
That's what it is.
No, this is not what it
Basically,
is.
stating that her feelings are not valid, whether you see if it's reasonable or not. She come to you with an issue.
Okay, this is how I see this. I see this as your wife deciding whether you buy Tesla stocks or shares or not. You understand me? That is the kind of decision that this is. It has nothing to do with your other friend. It has something to do with whether it is logical, whether you need to do it, whether it's too expensive, whether you guys have there is a basis, or it is just emotion.
I agree with you.
Yes, whether it's just because of someone is advising you, your partner is advising you to buy Tesla stocks because Tesla there is a lot of cloud, a lot of noise in social media about Tesla, and it hasn't taken a look at the market projection and other things and just say buy the stock. I've heard about it. You get that? That is unreasonable. And you have to do it because it's your partner. This is the same situation here. You have a relationship that has been long, beneficial, mutually helpful, and in no way is it parasitic or detrimental to your relationship or to yourself. It is only added. And then the partner came up and said, you have to let go of this relationship. I feel like the situation is you addressing it with them to find out why you have to let the relationship go. And if it is unreasonable,
I want to
you
say
shouldn't do
something.
it.
I want to say something, Fulcrum. You know, because you're saying what you're saying, because I don't want to. You know that Step has experienced marriage, right? You have not experienced marriage. I'm not saying that. I'm trying to explain that if you take a vow, if you take a vow with somebody, that vow is really important. You want to keep that marriage. So sometimes we do some things not because we don't have sense. We know that this thing is not being logical, but we just want to keep peace at home. As long as that thing is not going to kill anybody or cause anybody, yes, it might cause your friend pain and a relationship will be lost.
It will
At that
cost you
time.
too.
Yes,
It will
of course.
cost you.
Yes, it will cost you yourself.
Alright,
Yes, it will cost you
alright.
pain. It will cost your friend pain. But you're trying to play. I'm not saying your wife can just be unreasonable to the point where like you cannot make like
No.
the thing you're versing.
There was a point that was raised before now.
Him and his wife didn't stay together still, and he ditched the friend. So that shows
Yes.
you that the friend was still loyal.
Yes.
See what I'm
No,
saying?
no, the friend that
The
Step,
thing
the
is,
friend that Step made reference
You
to.
gotta understand the wife that I chose. Cause see, like I bet, like you said, my marriage still failed. But at the same time, I didn't properly vet my wife in the beginning. You know, so that still also falls back on me when it comes to. So I had to bear all those consequences of my actions. Because like I said, most men, what we do, we don't set that ground, that foundation in the beginning. We kind of go with the flow. So those insecurities I had to bear because that's the woman I chose. Because see, I don't see marriage as just a piece of paper. I see it as vows as it is written.
Mm-hmm.
I honor the marriage and I honor the sanctity of it.
I understand that.
And I chose. It's like my grandma always said: you made your bed, now you gotta lie in. And I went through the consequences of ignoring red flags because she's beautiful, or because I want something to work. But if I would have set the foundation in the beginning, I wouldn't have had to go through all that. So that's why I'm saying, hey, let's not beat it around the bush. Let's date with intentions. Hey, this is what I want. This is what's going on. So when that opportunity comes, when you get to the point when you are married,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you didn't address before marriage, I'm saying you stuck with it.
No, there is something you pointed out I wanted to build on when you said because you wanted it to work. I want to point out that and point out what Livia said earlier, that you have to shift ground for the marriage to work. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
Before now, there was something I spelled out, like in marriage, there are many times, especially as men in relationships, right? You shift ground for a woman. It's in minor issues, like trivial things at home. Those are the things you shift ground. If it's big decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
A big tangible decision,
Mm-hmm.
like whole high risk decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't just shift ground like that. That's not how it works.
Hold on.
You cannot just shift ground to move from, let's say, to move from yeah.
Yes. Yes, but then this friend
Because
is not a high risk decision.
yeah,
Is
so
it?
you don't shift ground on that basis because you don't want the relationship to work, because it's a slippery slope.
When I say
Okay, so what will you do?
relationship to work, I was already into it. And what I mean by that, we was already married with children. So when you to a certain point within the marriage, yeah, I understand. If you set the ground at the beginning, yeah, I could have done that from the beginning. But I don't, you gotta understand that when I wanted to work, it's because I devoted and I made those vows. So when I made those vows as a man that I am, I hold myself to those vows, for better or for worse. And when we went through our worst, guess what? I'm gonna hold myself to those vows. So yeah, I wanted to marry. Don't nobody that I know of wants to go through a divorce, but at the same time, it happens.
Well, one thing about
But
a marriage,
sometimes it's like we don't.
One thing about a marriage, let me add something.
ahead.
One thing about a marriage, and I'm not being disrespectful. I just want to add to
No,
this.
you good.
One thing about a marriage is two people gotta want the marriage to work. Two people gotta want to be married. You can do everything on your end, but if she ain't reciprocating the same energy or feelings, it's not going to work. Whether how much
I agree with you.
in it or not, she's got to be feeling the same way you feeling. She's got to be honoring the vows. She's got to be honoring the vows as well.
Right. But see, the thing is, just like
one more thing about marriage, if one person's doing all the work, it's not gonna work anyway. It's got to be the same energy.
I agree with you on that, and the reason why I say I agree with you on that, but we talking from a biblical aspect. When it comes
Even from a biblical, even biblical, it's still gotta be the same energy, you know.
Well, let me explain. Let me explain the biblical aspect of what I'm talking about. Okay, so the scriptures say, wives submit unto your husbands as unto Christ, right? So it's telling the woman to submit to your husband as you would submit to Christ. And it says, husbands, love your wife. Understand? Husbands, love your wife, but just like unto Christ, right? As Christ loved the church. Now, we are the church, according to scriptures. The people are the church. Christ, He died for us, right? So I'm just saying, even though we turned our backs on Christ, he never forsaken us. He never just condemned us. He always pleaded with us to repent. So, and the scriptures say, judge not, lest ye be judged. What that means? God, the Bible says, be careful how you judge others, because on the day of judgment, you will reap that same judgment. So if I'm harsh with my wife when it comes to judgment, if she do something and I just cuss her out or do all kind of matter of discipline and not show her mercy and love just like Christ was showing to me, and want to put forth the effort to plead with her just like Christ pleaded with me, even though she don't want it to work. I have a duty unto God first, then my wife. So I'm going to plead with my wife and say, hey, babe, look, I want this to work. I want this to work. We going to do just like God going to plead with us. So when judgment day come, he can look back and say, hey, Stephen, you did everything in your power to keep your house together. So I will remain blameless in the eyes of God because I love my wife as Christ loved me. I show her mercy, I show her love, I show her passion. And if she still leaves, because Christ never turned his back on us. We turned our backs on him. He never left us. We left him, just like I never left my wife left me.
Well, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying 100%. But like I said, like even in a relationship, it don't even have to be a marriage. It can just be just a regular relationship. Both people gotta be, like I said, both people gotta want it. Both people gotta have communication. Both people gotta have understanding.
That's true.
If they want, because she could be like, I don't care what he does. I still don't want to be with him. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa.
That goes back to, in the beginning, like I said, I didn't set the foundation. I didn't build my house upon the rock, which is Christ. You see what I'm saying? I didn't make sure she holds the same values of marriage as I did. Yeah, in the beginning, most women do. I want to get married, this and that. But do she hold those same standards? And that's where I misjudged. I looked at the fact that she's a good woman for taking care of the children. She's a good woman for being around and being a good friend. But I didn't make sure she's a good woman when it came to God and a good woman when it came to a wife and the attributes of a wife. So I misjudged on that aspect. So when the heart, because anybody can stay together when the marriage is good. But when a hardship comes, that's when those vows are really being tested. And most women, what they do, they flee. But it's my duty as the headship of the house, which God bestowed upon me to be, and said, hey, look, it's my job to keep the house together, whether she wants to keep it together or not. I still have to do my part for when that day comes, because God, for us, Christ only said we only supposed to divorce when adultery is played. My wife never committed adultery. So long as she never committed adultery, I had to tend with my wife. I couldn't say, oh, my wife don't want to be married, so I'm going to divorce and go get another one. No. Because Christ said, they asked Christ, why did Moses allow us to divorce? He said, because of the wickedness of our hearts. Because we didn't want to go through the trials and tribulations of putting up with the bull crap that comes from a woman. So we rather just throw her to the side and just get another one. But Christ said it was never so in the beginning. If she haven't committed adultery, I had no right to leave her. So if it cost me a friendship to get my house in order, so be it. You see what I'm saying? But that's biblical. Christ would give up anything to have us as his bride, which was his life. So how can I come in and say, Lord, I'm going to honor my vow and love my wife as Christ loved the church, but I wouldn't give up my best friend for the sanctity of my marriage. I wouldn't lay my life down for the sanctity of my marriage. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with you on that, but what I'm saying is it was more than just the friendship. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was more than just a friendship, but
sometimes women just do stuff just to see if they can do it. She'll be like, let me see if I can make him do this, or if I can make him stop having a friendship with George or Billy or whatever his name is. Sometimes they just do that. Just to do that. That's a power move. It ain't even nothing wrong. Just to see, you know, you gotta be careful of that too. Just to see if it's just a mind game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like I said, I take full responsibility because I didn't properly vet her as I should. That's why I said I owe my vow. When you make a vow, you vow it not just to her but unto God as well. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
I have to hold myself to that standard. I see. At the end of the day, I can't stand before God and say, "Hey, Stephen, why you didn't do this and why you didn't do that?"
I understand.
When He commands us to love our wives as Christ loved the church, you mean to tell me, if Christ was married unto us, He would destroy the marriage with us to go do something else for a friend? Hypothetically speaking, no. He wouldn't. He would say, hey, you don't want that friend? Hey, he gonna cut it off. That's why he said, seek ye the kingdom first, I give you your heart desire. So who am I as a husband, who my wife's supposed to look up to me as unto Christ, and she come to me and say, babe, I want you to do this for me, and I say, nah, that's my best friend, 30 years, I can't do that. You think God is going to look at me and say, hey, that's who you made a vow to?
Step. There is one pattern that is very common with abusive relationship. And the primary thing to know if a relationship is about to become abusive is isolation. When the other partner cuts that person, their partner off from their previous relationships, every other interaction and relationship, and seclude them, and it's a very consistent pattern in every DV cases and every relationships that turned out to be abusive. I'm just putting this out there that cutting people off from their existing relationships, to me, is a very, very bad telltale sign. If you are in such a relationship and you start saying that, especially if you are a girl, run. Run. It is a very consistent telltale sign so far.
Now, I understand about abusive relationship, and I know the difference. Now, when you're talking about a woman trying to cut you off from all connection, that's a different story. She's not trying to cut you off from, we're talking about an aspect of one specific friend. We're not talking about she trying to cut you off from your mama, your dad, your cousin, your uncles, and all connections. Because isolation is the key with that, where they can abuse you and no one can save you. I understand that. But the aspect of this conversation, we're talking about that one specific friend that your wife is insecure with, that you have 30 years with. One friend, come on, man.
You have to watch some of your family members. You got to watch some of your family members too. Your family members can go after your wife. Your family members can go after your wife too now. Come on.
That's true, but it's highly unlikely.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
It's highly.
No.
Listen. If your friends come after your wife, if your family able to come after you, should know your family. Just like I know my family. I know who to allow my wife around and who not to. I know my family better than my wife know my family. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna leave her at an uncle house that I know me and him been chopping about women for years. Come on now. Let's be wise about the situation.
Yeah,
wise. You gotta be wise.
You gotta watch your family too, though. That's what I'm saying.
I would think that this is very obvious, that you don't need to build a boss and trap your partner in it before the partner will not be able to cheat.
No.
If you allow your partner, let there be some level of freedom. Allow your partner to have friends. You keep your friends. If your partner cheat, fine, you know it and you cut them off and end the relationship. If you are building a bus, you can't build the bus strong enough because I kept saying your partner can cheat with an Uber driver that just drop her off.
Exactly.
It's quite him or her. I'm not trying to be.
If we speaking of girlfriend or boyfriend, I would agree with y'all, but we talking about marriage.
Even a wife,
we're talking about girlfriend
even
and
in marriage,
even a wife can do the same thing. Just because she's married don't mean it just depends on the woman, you know.
Well, see, the thing is, you have to trust in God rather than trust in man, because see, if me and my wife both agree under God, we both have the same belief, and let's say she do end up sleeping with someone else, right? What grounds for divorce, correct? So yes, I won't be dealing with her. So she lost something good. I didn't lose anything good.
Right.
So I'm confident and I'm secure in my stance as a God-fearing man. But when it comes to my wife, I understand she's the weaker vessel, and it's my duty as the stewardship over her, which God commanded me to. If there's an issue that she has, it's my responsibility to secure her mind, her thoughts, and her body. You understand?
Yeah, okay. Step, Gino, and Fulcrum. I think that I think that I want to end the stream here. Thank you, everybody. I don't know, does anybody have any other thing to say before I don't want to cut anybody short. Does anybody have any other thing to say, even the people in the comments?
I just want to say thanks for the platform.
Oh,
that was nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Small thanks.
Yeah, thank you too for
it was educational. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, not.
Yeah, and just to say, I understand where you guys coming from, but I'm talking from a thing of the vows and the marriage, the honor that's supposed to be. Because see, society nowadays push marriage to just a piece of paper, and no one holds themselves to those standards and honor. You see what I'm saying? And yes, I was divorced, but that goes into my vetting process. I don't blame my wife for. See, the thing is, you can't blame. You can have a field, right? And there's a tree in the middle of that field, and you want that tree to move. You can't get mad at the tree because the tree gonna do what it's supposed to do. Just as my wife, she gonna be and do who she's supposed to. I can't get mad at the woman I chose. I just have to deal with my selection, my consequences of choosing the wrong woman. Just like how we say, a woman say, well, it's the man, when it comes to single moms and stuff like that, they're like, oh, it's the man who left the woman. But just as well, it's the woman who chose the man to have that child with. Just like she has to weep the disappointment of choosing the wrong man, we have to reap the disappointment of choosing the wrong woman for marriage. And I only have myself to blame for the failure of my marriage.
Right.
It's just because it's the actions I allow her to do and the actions I allow myself to disregard.
Right.
But once I'm married, I made my selection, and now I'm bound by God to do my duties as a husband. Until she do what she did is walk away. And guess what? Scripture say the unbelieving wife depart, let them depart. They're no longer under bondage in such cases.
I understand.
Because she didn't believe the same thing I believe with the sanctity of marriage, and she walked away when things got hard.
I understand.
Yeah. But I definitely understand from a worldly point of view what you guys are speaking about.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I understand both sides. You understand? I understand both sides, because what Falcon was trying to say was that this is a big issue that needs to be tackled if you want to stay married to this person forever. And then I also understand that you can also just say, well, I want to be in a peaceful marriage. I don't want wahala. Let me just still do this one. So I understand both. Do you understand? But anyway, I'll end the stream here so that everybody can go do some other thing. I'll go to bed as well. It's way past midnight here. Thank you everybody for joining.
Have a good night.
Yeah, Steph, thank you. Fulcrum, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I enjoyed the panel. I enjoyed you guys having a conversation.
You're welcome. FCT, thank you for being in the comments. Thank you, everybody. Yes, NK, good night. You did not say chicken, you did not say, not even hi. You did not even say anything. You did not contribute. You did not say anything. You were just there listening. You did not contribute. It's okay. Noted. Noted. I've written it somewhere and I'll use it to judge you one day. Okay. Bye bye. Let me go and sleep.
Mr. teaches us to furnish his up. Pray. Make person, we people they quick.
What you want to do? You have maybe have the new weeks.
Now I leave it.
What you want to do? You have maybe have the new weeks.
Now I leave it.